story at night, putting him to bed, and he said, "Daddy, I don't want Santa Claus to come to our house for Christmas. I want President Trump." And I think, Mr. Trump, I think you brought Christmas to farmers.
Bro, what are you talking about?
With this bridge payment, we'll be able to farm another year, help us get by. It's such an honor to be here with you.
Man, fuck them farmers. I have to say it again. These people never learn. He has literally stripped you of everything through his own tariffs, and now he's bailing out the biggest welfare queens on this planet. Farmers. They can't make it on their own. They have to be bailed out every few years, and they vote for the man who gives them this crushing punishment and then bails them out. It's such a cyclical cycle of bullshit, and they're so dumb. Yeah, I want Trump to come to my house as Santa. You've made Christmas such a great time. He kicked you in the nuts, you dumbass. They're so busy bootlicking and kissing this man's ass. They are so far up his ass. They don't even understand he is the man who was beating the shit out of them. These farmers cannot pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They cannot survive on their own. They continue to need government interference, and thank the man who drilled them in the nads every time. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you want to call it. You got bailed out, you welfare queen.
It's like one of those toxic relationships where the person is getting abused and they still come back to that relationship thinking things will change. Someone's like, that kid never said that. So they're thanking the person who caused their problem. What the F? Wait, where are the guarantees for us as taxpayers? Are we going to get paid back? Fortunately, you know the answer to that. 12 billion won't cover anything but a very small portion of their debt. And the new tariffs on Canada potash is going to crush them.
You might think that this headline was from this week, but it was actually from 2018. This headline is from this week. Same amount in aid for farmers because he is terrible at his job.
Well, no fucking shit.
We don't want a bailout. We want a market. Bailouts don't work. Bailouts are band-aids. We aren't even made whole off of this. That's money that should be going towards senior citizens. That's money that should be going for the Affordable Care Act. That's money that should just be going to regular tax cuts for normal Americans and not billionaires. Period. Plain and simple. And what he is doing is destroying our markets. And when those markets disappear, we're not going to get them back.
This guy knows what he's saying. For the first time, I actually see someone actually speaking facts. And some people in the comments are like, then why did you vote for him? And others are backing him, saying that he didn't vote for him, obviously, because he seems to be a sensible person. But also, a black farmer was put on CNN to give his thoughts about the bailout. And let's just say he was doing some cooking.
In the last year, Biden bankruptcies rose by 55%, having to do with farms. So farm bankruptcies under Joe Biden went up 55%. That's not good. But now we're once again in a position where a president is able to put farmers first. But unfortunately, I'm the only president that does that.
Joining us now, the president of the National Black Farmers Association, John Boyd Jr. John, thank you so much for being with us. So how is this $12 billion bailout potentially going to help you?
Well, first I want to comment on the president. He said something about this, all this happened on the Biden administration, which is totally false. Agriculture in this country has been in a complete turbulence and turmoil in this country since the president got elected. He didn't talk about farm suicides, farm bankruptcies, farm foreclosures, are all up under his watch. And I want to remind the president that we're in the position that we're in such a bad, a devastated position in this country because of his tariffs. So I wanted to clean that up from just listening to his comments.
Thank you, sir, for telling the truth about the person in the White House. Someone's like 3 more years of it still Biden's fault.
The biggest welfare queens in America are not who you think they are. I'm going to tell you who really has a standing appointment at a government ATM machine. Farmers. You know, the same people who scream socialism like it's profanity. Well, they're about to get a warm government hug in the form of what's called a bridge payment. So here's the story in plain English. A trade war got kicked off. Markets got all messed up. Crops stopped moving, money dried up, and suddenly the loudest bootstraps in America are sitting on a curb barefoot, asking the government for bus fare. Understand, your government is already expected to hand farmers $40 billion with a B in 2025. And that's not pocket change. It's actually the largest amount of money infused into the farming sector since the 90s. Farmers always claim they hate a handout. And conservatives always say struggle builds character. And the country's supposed to be all about personal responsibility. But I think that only applies to everybody else, clearly, because farmers are still begging. Farmers voted for these policies. They cheered them on. I just want to know why when the bill comes due, farmers keep running to the government begging for our tax dollars. And I want to be clear, farmers getting more money will not make your groceries cheaper. It's corporate welfare. Healthcare is still an issue. Housing is a whole joke. School debt is choking people out. But the farmers are still begging. Y'all tired of winning yet?
I'm sure when Trump gets a phone call from the farmers, the contact name is written begging, begging, begging. Because that's really what they be doing. Farmers are the ones making the food for everyone. If anyone should get a bailout, it's them. Because none of us would have food without them. Are you serious? Listen, the farmers and this bailout is all tied to who they're voting for. The person who's screwing them over is the person who they're constantly rushing to ask for help. And then they're also voting that same person into power. That's the issue right there. Rich people get more aid from the government compared to anyone. Facts. The one who's already a billionaire and rich is going to the government asking for tax cuts. You already hit the 1% of the 1% and you still need some government assistance to help you make more money. Those same farmers would vote for Trump a fourth time if they could. It's shocking how many business owners are okay with losing profits under Trump's horrible economic policy. They will thank Trump while filing for bankruptcy.
So the economic policy of the Trump administration is nothing short of bizarre. So let me frame this up for you in a very, very common sense way. Donald Trump places tariffs on Canadian potash fertilizer, which the American farmers then have to pay. During a trade war, which he started with everybody, American agriculture suffers. So the cost of everything they're buying, from machinery to potash, is increasing, and it's the American farmers that have to pay that. At the same time, because of the aggressive nature of Donald Trump's economic policies, people in Canada and Europe and around the world say, I'm not going to buy beans from America anymore. I'm not going to buy lentils from America anymore. I'm not going to buy American agricultural products. So this creates a perfect storm, and it pushes the American farmer into a desperate place. Many of them lose their farms. Many of them go into huge amounts of debt. Many of them have product which isn't being sold. It's just been in barns, just sitting there. Donald Trump eventually sees that they're hurting, comes along, and from the money that the farmers paid in tariffs, tells them he's now going to give them a bailout, which is probably about 1/10 of what they need. So 12 billion. Now we have farmers patting Trump on the back. He's patting himself on the back. But here's the big crux. The $12 billion payout, there's absolutely zero timeline in regards to when it's going to happen. Doge tax, dividend funds, bailouts.
He dribbles water on the fire that he created and then expects a thank you. This isn't sustainable. Just a matter of time till the collapse of the agricultural industry. Even these corporations are buying them for pennies on the dollar, bro. This is probably the best time to get a discount on these farms. You put the word strategy in the same sentence as Trump and you lost me. I mean, it is a strategy, because if these farmers are so silly to fall for this every single time, I mean, it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So you've probably heard about this $12 billion bailout that Trump has offered to farmers. Let's put that into context. In 2025, it's estimated that the farming industry is going to lose about $44 billion because of tariffs that Trump has put out. The historic high the 10-year historic high for bankruptcies was in 2019 under Trump, which was 599 bankruptcies. Under Biden, it got down to 139. This year, it's expected to go up somewhere to 662, I believe it's going to go up. So it's going to set the next high since Trump at 599. And he's giving them $12 billion. How the fuck does that help all of the people who have been bankrupt, all these farmers who have been bankrupt, right? He's taken a sledgehammer to the farming industry in 2019, pre-COVID, and now setting a 10-year high with farmer bankruptcies. But he's going to give them $12 billion, which is $8 billion less than what he gave to Argentina, which is a competitor to American farmers. 40 billion. Isn't it 40 billion? 40 billion. But he's going to give farmers in the United States $12 billion, which won't help for jack shit the bankruptcies, the bankrupt farmers who are already out of business, and won't do a hell of a lot for the rest of them. That money goes straight through to the debts that they're owed, which, by the way, are to fewer and fewer companies who have been jacking up prices over the last 10 years as well. So when you hear him come out and say, I'm going to rescue the American farmer and give them $12 billion, that doesn't do jack shit. Like, they wouldn't even need that if it weren't for tariffs. That's a quarter of what he took from farmers. And he's giving back a little to some of them who are still in business after we're about to set another historic high for bankruptcies. And he can blame Biden for all of these problems, but it never actually works out where that's the truth, right? And these are all red states with red senators and red governors who have supported Trump and everything he's done. They didn't push back on tariffs. They didn't push back, when all these bankruptcies were happening, not even in 2019. Again, 599. They didn't push back then. So if you're an American farmer, just be aware that it's the Republican politicians who are taking your damn farms and taking your money. And then where are those farms going, right? Probably to Acre Trader. So JD Vance and the Saudis are making a shit ton of money and probably buying up all these farms.
Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about the welfare queen. I mean, farmers that are currently going through the toughest time right now and are receiving a bailout. Leave your comments down below and let me know what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. Also, check out this video. I'm sure you're definitely going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.